So we're going to be having this top 8 elimination match coming up here right away, game number 1.
Now, we don't have too much information on Nagi and Maxy here, other than 2 tournaments that they played in 2022, about mid to late 2022, was the Summer Championship and the Autumn Championship, both of them coming in 7th place. So inside of top 8, we have 2 Argentinian players, and Power, of course, is also from Argentina. So normally we talk about how Brazil is running South America, and for the most part, they are running South American Brawlhalla. But here, we're going to have 3 Argentinian players in this game, and then, of course, we have Wess hailing from Brazil. Nagi might be hailing from the top blast zone the way Power was hoping to send him up there.
And we've got some legend picks that are classics here. The Taros coming out from Nagi, and then Power on the John Cena. But interesting to note, the Alucard, epic crossover for Ezio, is something that I have not seen picked very much at all, honestly. It's kind of interesting to think about when it comes to sword and Orb in general. Orb, one of those funny weapons where in singles had only one player representing it in top 8, and it was the player that won North America, right?
That's raidish.
Yeah. So it would be cool to see if there's going to be more Orb in double since then. I know that in the past there was a ton of Thor, but honestly I just kind of feel like that was because of high defense Hammer.
Honestly, I'm thinking Thor could make a return.
Yeah.
Now that we're seeing more Hammer, I think it's going to take a bold player to actually choose to go on to Orb, which is something most people aren't doing. But Maxy trying to do his best out here. They're definitely behind here, but this could be huge.
Maxy, no fear, dips all the way up to the right side of the stage there. After leaping down, goes up for the ground pound and gets that knockout. Makes it back here, and the gravity cancel neutral stick doesn't get the distance, doesn't get the wall touch, and the blue team steals the lead right back into their favor.
This is going to be Power, of course. You saw that he's dominating. That means 3 KOs. That means he's picked up 3 KOs on his second stock, but he's barely even orange. So that means he's taken next to no damage throughout picking up mighty 3 stocks from the red team. He's starting to take a little bit more here, including some team damage. Side light, side air. That turned him red. He's sent over onto the edge. Nagi, they immediately swapped places, and Nagi was looking to clean up that stock from Power.
Yeah, Maxy goes in for the side stick, gets punished by Sair. Down air hits, and Power actually dodges the down stick, but the second swing sends him flying. He holds onto the stock just barely because of that defense stance, but there he goes, flying off the right to that Sair. And Maxy putting up that down signature, doesn't get the right read. Wess flying right through with the side stick, and Power with the nice punish with that side air. That's going to be the stock from Nagi, and now it's a 1v2 where Maxy's going to get hit by, Wess was just kind of like...
Hey, he was there to assist, and Power was like, nope, I got it.
He gravity canceled neutral light and then literally put his hands on the controller. He was like, okay, fine.
It's like,
it's a 2-player game.
Go ahead and take this one, Power. You got it, brother. I'm going to throw out a neutral light so that I can pretend I'm doing something. He's the little brother with the controller that's not actually plugged in,
here it is.
And you're playing a 1-player game.
And then he just goes down. He just
no movement coming out from Wess on that one, but a very confident victory coming out from Wess in Power, picking up solid mid-500 damage numbers coming out from both Wess and Power.
Yeah, really great game, one from them. We're going to see on the graph here, actually, that's a different game. But if it was the graph for them, we would see that Wess and Power started off with a little bit of a weak start. Maxy had a really clutch early knockout with that ground pound off the right side of the stage. And then they just took complete control over the game. And now we're seeing a complete legend composition swap coming here with the Bryn and the Orion for game number 2. Shoutouts to EU, right, with this setup here in particular.
Classic EU pick coming out here. Maxy hoping that his axe can be as disastrous as some of the axes that we've seen from Bryn players today, Hughes being one of them in South America, though hopefully it'll fare a little bit better. But Wess, of course, that down sig, we saw it in North American 1v1s from Stingray. Of course, we expect it from any great Orion player, especially one like Wess.
He's carrying Nagi on this new stock all the way off the right side of the stage. Yeah, Wess had a down sig that hit both Nagi and Maxy at the same time and just barely didn't knock out. Honestly, credit to the current balance patch for that, but he still gets it with the second one coming through. Just has to adjust those instincts of his for when it's going to knock out with damage. And now we're back to a game where, well, we'll see, Sparky. Can they get any of these stocks here. Oh no, Maxy, that was some rough fire.
That was interesting because Power, I guess, saw Maxy coming in, and he immediately retreated back to the main platform, fast falling to get there as quick as possible, and Maxy still ended up hitting his teammate, putting some more damage out on him. Wess is going to fall. That is a full wipe on the blue team, but Nagi and Maxy are both very much in the red. Little two-piece coming out. Let's see, of course, that down signature.
Oh, that's
so devastating. He ends up hitting another one, of course.
Yeah, it was actually an interesting situation. Wess noticed that the platform on the left-hand side was currently in its raised position. So he was just kind of like, well, you don't have the jumps to make it back up there. You're going to have to land anyways. You might as well just keep spinning to win. And that down sig does hit on the second hit. And now it's 4 stocks to 2.
They're doing a good job putting out some damage onto Power. You're seeing the D-Sig from Nagi. Unfortunately, it was from the wrong side of that if he was looking to send over into the blast zone. There's going to be a great pickup from Wess. Hits the neutral signature. Going to be tough to come back from. Wess getting caught under the stage. Maxy was not afraid, was not tunnel visioning back over to the wall, looking for self-preservation. He also found the KO there.
Yeah, great job with that knockout. Weapon toss up into the sky. Let's see if we can get anything else off of that. Nagi using those down airs over and over. Okay, that's huge for Power. Maxy gets caught towards the top of the stage. He goes down. And now Nagi going in with that side air. Okay, 1v2 potential here. Let's see if Wess and Power can set up for the team combo. Of course they can. Neutralite into Sair. Wess might switch over to the spear just to be able to finish the next Neutralite with a down sig. No, Lance in hand the entire time here. And that's Nagi going down.
That's it. Taz, are we continuing the 3-0 curse? The way it's looking so far, I'm thinking we are.
That was a really dominant win coming up from Power Ranger and Wess. And even with the platforms on the map, we can see right there, he went for gravity cancel sidelight of all moves. Covered a lot with that down signature. And in fact, we saw from Power and Wess a really cool maneuver where they were just like unarmed neutralite, spear neutralite, sword neutralite. Wess was just over there being like, I don't care how much damage they have, I'm going to down sig. And sometimes they even caught both of their opponents there with those maneuvers. So really well played from Wess and Power, and they're going to be going up 2-0 in this set. And with one more game on the line, they could just 3-0 their ways further into the elimination bracket.
Now we're seeing Maxy swap back off of the Brynn over onto the Alucard that we saw previously. Maybe that's just the more comfort pick coming out here. Maxy thinks he has a little bit more gas in the tank with that than he did with the Brynn.
Yeah, we're now on Demon Island over here. Let's see how that works out. We haven't seen too many of these side sig finishers coming out from Nagi that Orion players will tend to like to go for. But yeah, I like going back to the Alucard. Really well played last time with the orb in particular, which is what I want to see more of. It's just a matter of if he has that synergy with Nagi here on the Orion. This is the one team composition we haven't seen them do just yet, and it's their final gambit in this particular set, and in the tournament.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen any major moments, and I could have just missed them, from Nagi and Maxy. Nice. Any like really, really tight follow-ups. There was the Orm gameplay on the right side early on in the set that we saw previously that you called out and praised so heavily. But other than that, I feel like we haven't seen too much follow-up gameplay like we've seen from Wess and Power, like we've seen from Kinda Lores, like we've seen from from Fiend and Use.
Man, Wess and Power are so good with their setups. They did a thing where Power went for the spear down air at the same time that Wess did the down sig. So they were covering the stage and the air at the same time. And if you mess that up, you just get caught by the down sig, right? So they prepare for those edge guard setups, and they end up getting a knockout because of that. Now they're looking for a team combo setup here, and they can't quite get it, but they're still in the lead with Power still on all 3 stocks. Downlight neutral sig, what a classic coming out there from the Atori. And I mean, they're just running away with this lead, Sparky.
Oh, the D-Light ground pound coming out from Power, but Maxy completely disengages, puts out some pressure onto Power, relieves some of the pressure. It's onto Nagi, a GC D-Sig up in the air. Shades of Stingray coming out on that one. Maxy, the signature off stage, missing wildly, but he doesn't get punished, so he's still in a decent spot. If they can get a stock on Wess quickly, they're not going to be in the worst spot here.
There's some times where with how Wess is good at landing the down sig, I'm just kind of like, this should just be the only move you're using after a certain amount of damage on your opponents. Like, he's just landing in between all of them. He's been able to get these to connect. Maxy has to down air and run back to stage, and that was smart. Power hits the downlight and then realizes Wess could potentially get punished if he goes for it, and he could get punished, so he dodges down and then gets the recovery. And Nagi goes down to 1 stock. Maxy, it's the same case. And now they're going for the team combo on Nagi, who's struggling to find a weapon.
A little bit of team damage coming out, so they aren't able to find any major combo onto Nagi while Maxy is spawning back in. They get the stock onto Power. Can they clean this one up from Wess? The side air is going to do it. They're in a good position here. Yeah. This is the closest it's been.
Yeah, this is great. Oh, Oh, but the downline Cider catches both of them, and Power goes in for the pivot. Neutral signature, still tons of damage coming through. Neutral lights onto Nagi once again. Maxy jumps over the neutral light with the orb downlight, gets that punish there, but no extra damage, and Nagi is at risk of going down to one solid team combo, one solid signature to put this into a 1v2 scenario.
Nagi swinging, doing the best he can to put out as much damage as possible before he falls.
No, Dare again.
Oh, Maxy's so damaged as well.
Down
Nice grab.
air. Oh, but at the same time, Nagi goes down, and the weapon thrown to down air means Maxy is...
No way.
That's going to be it. That's a good game, and Wess and Power are going to move up 3-0 over Maxy and Nagi to move forward into the elimination bracket here. As once again, Sparky, we are just seeing... I mean... Even though Wess and Power are in the elimination bracket, it's not totally crazy to me that they're going to be 3-0ing their way through this, but man, oh man, that was convincing. Even when it got close, it was like, I still feel like this is convincingly in their favor.
Definitely. And I mean, I put them in my top 3, so I would have expected them to put out a similar performance like that, given that they are in round 1 of the elimination side. No disrespect whatsoever to Nagi and Maxy. The viewer vote, yeah, of course, it's Wess and Power. We talked about it.
That is the most one-sided.
We talked about it in the pre-show. Like Acno and Blaze were running EU 2v2, Wess and Power were running South.